Hello everyone, welcome back to GB Bricks. For today's video I've got a Lego haul for you. Now I know lots of channels do these and I do enjoy watching them, I enjoy seeing what people pick up. Mine aren't going to be like that necessarily, they're not going to be kind of standing outside the store with a big yellow bag having just bought X amount of bits on the first of whatever month. Mine are going to be more of a few months worth of bits that I've picked up. I don't really do that just because I like to buy things when I feel there's a good free gift or there's double points or whatever. I don't just buy it on the first day of release, but I have picked up some really nice bits over the last few months, and it's been my birthday in that time as well, so I had a couple of presents, a couple of Lego related presents, but yeah, some eBay bits on here as well, some older sets, little bits and bobs. We'll get into it properly in a minute. So what exactly have I picked up? Well, let me show you. Okay, the first one I want to show you, I'm going to try and go in chronological order. This was back at Father's Day, so as I said, it's about 3 months worth. This one I don't have the box for anymore because I've built it, so I'll flash it up on the screen now. But this is 60407. This is the sightseeing bus. Now, the reason I wanted this actually is because I wanted to modify it and turn it into more of a traditional London red double-decker bus as opposed to a sightseeing bus, and that is what I've done. So I'll show you here, but then I will do some B-roll and show you properly. So excuse the light shining off it. As you can see, or if you can see, sorry, there we go. The main part of the modification was on this top deck here. The bottom deck, for the most part, is exactly the same as in the original build. What is different about it is I mirrored it so that the bus driver was on the right-hand side. That's where we would sit in England. Our seat, driver's seat, would be on the right, as opposed to the left in the actual model. And I added one extra window in there. Again, I will do B-roll, but most of that is the same. This is the top deck. Now I did take out the mechanism here where you could turn the sign and have the destination change for where the bus is going. It was a shame to lose, but it was so bulky to hide it that I couldn't get a nice curved front on the bus with it there. And to be honest, I mean, you can literally just peel that off and put the others on, so that's not a problem. I'm quite happy with that. I like that. What I do want to do somehow, somewhere, is get a sticker and put a number on the bus if I can. Now what I did say to myself was that I wanted to build this just with parts that I already had. So I got this, we went to Legoland for Father's Day, and on their pick-a-brick wall there, which is not great at Legoland Windsor, they did have, funnily enough, a lot of red and black, which is ideal for what I wanted to do at the time. So I picked up a few bits from there, and then I said, aside from that, everything else I want to make from what I've already got in my collection. If that weren't the case, there are some bits I would change. I would use some bigger pieces for the roof. You can see they're all 1x2s because that's what I had. I had a bulk of these from another pick-a-brick wall at some point, and I would, if I had them, change the back here so this black went all the way up to there. Maybe in the future, but for using what I had and nothing else, I'm actually quite happy with how that turned out. Now the next one, I was delighted with this one, I must say. I wasn't expecting this. We went to a toy shop called Smith's Toys, not our local one. We were out and about somewhere else with the kids one weekend, and they had on the shelf the Galaxy Explorer 10497, which retired at the end of last year. And I do have a copy of this boxed that I got for a birthday, a couple of years ago now. It was out for a couple of years. And they had it on their shelf, and it was reduced down, I think it was £90 RRP, and they'd reduced it down to 80. But on their website I noticed they said that they were selling it for 50, but it was out of stock like everywhere. So obviously it was an old listing that they assumed they were out of stock, and that was that. But obviously they had one in stock. So I said to one of the people there, the set you got up there, you've got it advertised as 50 on your website. Like, will you honour that? And they said yes, they would. But the box was absolutely mangled, and I didn't say anything. I was quite happy with £50 to be honest. But as I got to the till, because the box was so damaged, they gave me another £6 off. So I got the Galaxy Explorer, which is an absolutely amazing model, for £44, which is incredible. I mean, look at the size of it. I mean, I remember the original. It was a little before my time, but not much. I was about during that first space era for Lego, and I loved it. I remember at school, the funny little memories you have. I remember at school, whenever you used to play with Lego and you had like free time, there was a big box or bag of Lego that you tipped out on the carpet when you were allowed to. You'd always find these transparent yellow windscreens in that. So obviously at some point there'd been a few spaceships that had been broken up and just ended up in pieces in this school box of Lego. Although, was it transparent green as well, I think, like the M-Tron, people like that, whichever colour it was. But you always found these windscreens and you tried to build your own spaceships. But yeah, this is incredible, and for £44 you just can't go wrong. So like I said, I do have another one of these, and it wasn't ever my intention to buy it to sell or for investment, anything like that. I just hadn't got around to building it, and obviously I've ended up with another one, which is fine by me. Next one then is set 60330, and this is the most recent Lego City Hospital. This one here, now it's still in the box. I haven't built this one yet. Don't know when I will build this one, but this was a very similar story in the same toy shop, but another branch of it. This retired last year again, went into their store, and I had a few of these on the shelf for £50 each. So I snapped one of these up. I do really like the hospitals, the police stations, the fire stations that Lego do for Lego City. I don't buy them often, I must say, just because I build my own buildings, modulars these days. I do like the Lego modulars as well, and obviously I do collect those, but I've really started to get into building my own, so I try not to buy buildings too often. But having said that, for £50, even if it ends up being a parts pack and I build my own hospital at some point, I do really like this one. I think it's really a very nice design. I like the curves on it, the curved windows. So for £50 I was very happy with that, and yeah, it was another win in Smith's Toys. The next one is a retired set. This is 70656, and this is from the Lego Movie. Again, apologise for the glare there off the ring light, but this is Garmadon, named as such because when he appears on the beach in this massive shark mech, a number of residents shout his name out. I'd wanted this for ages. I missed out on a lot of the sets from the Lego Movie back then. The one I bought was Destiny's Bounty, which I love, still got. It was out of that. Toys R Us were going out of business at the time, and they had Destiny's Bounty and they had Ninjago City on a shelf, heavily reduced, like 40-50% off. And I went for the Destiny's Bounty mainly because I collect ships, and you'll see that in a minute in another thing that I've bought recently. And secondly, just because even though it was heavily reduced, it was still quite expensive, the other one. Obviously, in hindsight now, I should have bought Ninjago City. I could have got the Destiny's Bounty on eBay, even now, for a markup, but a fair markup. But there you go, it is what it is. But I did really like this set back in the day and didn't buy it. I have built this one, and I will show you. And again, I'll do some B-roll. There we go, his claws at the bottom, they're a bit awkward. There we are. This is a great set. I mean, I love this. It's just so unique. I love mechs. I've really got heavily into mechs recently. Ninjago mechs, Monkey Kid as well. I even like the little mechs that Lego have started doing with the the Star Wars ones and the Marvel ones and the Batman ones, whatever. As for what they are, for the £10 you pay for them, I think they're quite fun. But this is great. I really enjoy this, and it's one of two of the mechs from that movie I own now, and I will be looking to pick the others up over time off of eBay, as and when I can, when they're a decent price, when they're a fair price, that, or at least I consider fair for my budget and what I want to pay for them. But I do at some point want to pick all those up because I think they're great. Talking of eBay, and the next one I bought on a bit of a whim. Well, no, it wasn't a whim actually. No, I actively searched it out. This is 6672, and this is a small safari car. But the reason I bought this is because I had it as a kid, and I still kind of had it to this day. And what I mean by that, as one of the classic monkeys there, the old Lego Pirates monkeys. What I mean by that is it was broken up, very heavily yellowed, as Lego does seem to get sometimes. And I really just wanted it again, and I was looking for it in any form really, new and sealed. If would have been a bit of a stretch, but as I did buy it in the end, used but in decent condition, even just in pieces if I could piece it together with what I already had. But I think I ended up paying, with postage, about £11 for this. Prices would have been at the bottom of the screen for anything I'm showing here. I mean, I bought this as a pocket money set as a kid back in the early 90s. I probably paid about £3.50 for it back then. I seem to remember that was about the price for these small vehicle sets. I had a few of them, and they were all on my windowsill. Unfortunately, the white ones then yellowed because of that. I didn't realise that back at the time. But if I can find them for, you know, a decent price, 10 quid each, 10 quid or so, I will happily start picking these back up and just adding them back into the collection. But I used to love this one, has like the suspension wheels, and was very happy to pick that back up. Next one is 71821. This is another Ninjago set. Honestly, this was such a good deal. So this is Cole's Titan Mech, or Titan Dragon Mech to give it its full name. Now, I don't know if you can see in the corner there, I got this from Game. Now, Game over here in the UK started selling Lego, I would say, well, I don't know now, maybe a year or so ago, but they actually reduced it quite quickly down by about 20% from RRP. So this was on sale for £72, but this particular game store was going, not going out of business, but they were closing that branch down, that one branch. So they were offering another 20% off from that stickered price. So £72, another 20% off, what's that, £7.14, £58. Yeah, £58 and a bit, you know, £57 something it was. For this mech, I think this is probably the best mech Lego I've ever made. This is a sensational set. If you like mechs, if you've got any interest in mechs, this is a fantastic one to get. Now, again, I already had this. I bought it quite soon after it came out because I liked it that much. So this is a spare, but I'm happy to have two of these. I think they're brilliant. I'm happy to try some sort of colour swap with it at some point and make my own version of this mech. But the one that I already have, I do have here, and I'll show you. So there it is in all its glory, and I'll show it to you properly in a minute. But this is unbelievable. I mean, the posability on this thing is just second to none. It is quite fiddly, don't get me wrong, bits fall off it as you're trying to pose it, but if you're displaying it and once you've got it posed how you like it, it looks great. It's such a good mech. It's got joints in the knees, which again just allow for that posability. Yeah, and as I said, I think that's the best mech Lego I've ever made, and as I said again, I've really got into mechs lately. I've bought quite a few. Some were before this time period, so I obviously had to have a cut-off point of some description, but I have a few others that I'm looking to pick up, and I'm sure they'll be in a future episode. One other set that I did get through the last couple of months was Lego Ideas Sets 21350. That's the Jaws set. Now this is a set that I'd really been looking forward to. Jaws is one of my favourite films of all time, and I'd actually been in the process of putting together a mock of my own for that Jaws scene with the orca boat when this was announced, and when I saw the official set reveal, I was very happy with what Lego had done. I know some people preferred the original submission, which is fair enough, but I was very happy with the final design. I would have liked if the shark, old Brucey boy, was actually on the boat, so you could recreate the scene where Quint meets his end from the film. Maybe have the boat slightly capsizing into the water owing to the weight of the shark. I can understand obviously why Lego didn't do that. I'm sure it's not quite the scene they'd want to recreate, but that would have been good. But I really do like this set. Now, having said I never buy sets on day one, or very rarely, I did get this one on release day. It wasn't because I was desperate to have it and wanted it immediately. It was more because Lego had a good free gift at the time, and they had a sale on, and they had some bits on there that I wanted to get the kids for Christmas, so it seemed a good opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. So it's not something I usually do, but yeah, in this instance it was worth getting it early. The penultimate item, this isn't a set, these are minifigures that I picked up. This is the first 4 ninjas from Ninjago. So the first costumes they ever wore when it first released back in like 2011. And again, I think these are fantastic. So Cole, the ninja, the Earth Ninja that wears the black costume, he reminds me of the character from the last Ninja video games that used to be on the Commodore 64 in this costume. And I just think they look great. I think these are my favourite costumes they've ever worn, and there are some very good ones, and a few others that I'm looking to pick up, you know, the full sets of those particular costumes for that series, whichever series it may be. But these original 4 ninja in these costumes are some of the best in my opinion. The only thing that's a bit of a negative against them these days is the way that their weapons attach. If you can see, there's a clip built in or moulded in to the mask, but I mean, that's fine. And I don't know if these are the weapons they would have come with in those sets back then. They all come with a gold sword when I bought them from eBay, but yeah, it could well be that they came with their actual weapons, the shuriken and the scythe and what have you. I'm not sure, but I'm more than happy for them to all have a uniform weapon and have these swords. I paid £18 for these. The seller had them up for 21, and I asked if they'd take 18, and they did. So that's what, £4.50 each. Yeah, more than happy to pay that. I think these are great. And the final set of this haul is set number 76440. It's this set here. It's the Harry Potter Tri-Wizard Tournament Arrival, I believe it's called. Yeah, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I bought this mainly because, as I mentioned earlier, I do collect Lego ships, and I think this is a really unique looking one. I like the angles, I like the height compared to kind of the depth or the width that you generally get in Lego ships. So I wanted to pick this one up. I got this for my birthday. This was a birthday present, and it came with some free gifts. They were doing a Harry Potter back to school, gift with purchase recently. It's Morgan and Burke's something. I'll flash a picture of it up. I do have that as well. But yeah, not being a massive Harry Potter fan, I can take or leave the free gift, but free is free, so that's okay. But I did want this for my ship collection. This is the Durmstrang ship from the films. I've seen all the films. I've read the books actually many years ago now, so I know all about the source material. But I always wanted this ship when it first released, when the Harry Potter Lego theme was very young, and I never got it. I'll be honest, looking at the ship, the reason I didn't get it, I didn't actually like the ship very much, but I wish I'd got it just for how different it was. But now, having said that, the fact they've remade it, and this remake is so good, I'm very happy to have this one, and it eases the pain of not getting that original one. It's not one I feel I need anymore. And just one final thing before I end this video. This month, or within the last few weeks, I've actually went to Germany for Gamescom. If you follow my other channel, Switch Up, you may well know that because we made videos whilst we were there. And whilst in Cologne, which is where Gamescom was held, I actually found a Lego store. Wasn't anticipating going to one, but was very happy to find one. I didn't buy any sets, but I did pick up a box of pick-a-brick off the wall. Had some very good bits there actually for mocks that I'm going to build in the future. And what I also got was one of the Lego passports whilst I was there. Now, I did have one of these at home. Obviously, I didn't really expect to be using it whilst away. What these are, if you're not aware, basically, if you go to one of the stores, you can pick them up for free at the Lego stores. And whenever you go to a new store, they've all got their own specific stamp for that particular store. And there are other stamps for themes or themed days throughout the year, and you can get them stamped in here. And I got the Cologne specific stamp for that store. I'll do a close-up in a minute. But I also got the Gamescom exclusive stamp as well, which I was very happy to get, because that's not one I'd ever have expected to get. It's a shame it's not in my other book, because I did have a few of the stamps from other places in England, other stores. Had one for Legoland as well. But I'll build this one back up over time, I'm sure. And yeah, that was just a nice little extra surprise. So there you go, there's my Lego haul for the last few months. I would estimate this was probably about 3 months worth. Some really good bits in there. I mean, that game sale was cracking. Got some great sets there. I love the little bits from eBay as well. Nice presents for my birthday. So yeah, happy with that. Let me know anything that you picked up recently, whether it be on day one or just over the course of time off of eBay, retired sets, whatever it is. Please do stick it down in the comment section below. Take care, and until next time, happy building.